Hi everyone, today we're talking about modals, specifically will, may, might, have to, and don't have to. Now, there's some different rules involved with some of those, and they're used for different things, but generally you should be familiar with modals by now. Modals are everywhere, and they're easy to use. So let's go ahead and get started. We've got some sentences, both on the right-hand side and down on this side here. What we will need to do is follow the directions here and select the subject, the modal verb, and the main verb. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay. What you have should look like this. Now, they're all very similar. That's one of the beauty of modals. Is that, once you get the form down for modals, really you can just stick different modals in there to have different meanings. Okay, so if we look at a lot of these sentences, they start with a subject like a normal sentence, then you have the modal, right, and then you have the main verb down here. But you'll notice that even though the subject is she, the verb is go, not goes. We're going to talk about that later. The only ones that are different are this one. Why is it different? That's right. And this one, it's got that in there, and then have to and don't have to are slightly different as well. And you'll see that when you selected these as a modal, you didn't just select the verb have, because have to and have are not the same thing, and you need to keep that in mind. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the questions here. Okay, we're going to use the questions over on the right-hand side now. Which of these sentences are negative? Number 1, no. But 2, yes. 5, yes. 7 is a negative, and 8 is a negative. The positive sentences are 1, 3, 6, 9, and we've only got one question, which is 4. Okay, so take a look at those, especially the negatives. Okay, the positive sentences are easy. We talked about the question where we put the modal before the subject and then the main verb after the subject. And then the negative sentences just have an extra word in there. And we'll look at that in a minute. So let's go down here. Okay. Now the main verb in each of these sentences takes what form? And that's what I was talking about up here. The subject is she, but the verb is go. She pass, not passes. All right. So what is that? When we have it, and there's no 2 there. Even though you've got a 2 here, that 2 is connected to the have. It's not connected to the where. So the term we're looking for here is the base form. Some people call that the infinitive form. I prefer the base form because the infinitive often uses 2. For most people, I should say. Now, which of these sentences talks about a certainty? Not a possibility, not a probability, but a certainty. And that is 1. I will go to the speaking center after class. The negative form of will, it's right there. You should know that one. It's won't. Okay? Now, which of these sentences discuss possibility? Not 1 and not 2, because those are pretty certain. Okay, number 3 is definitely a possibility. That's not a possibility. This one is. That one is. Might be late, might not be. And this one is. These ones, no. Okay, which modal is used to ask permission? May. May I have a glass of water? May I go to the bathroom? Okay, and which word do we need to add to make might and may negative? And it's this one right here. And you want to focus on where that goes. It goes between the modal and the main verb. So right in there is not. And what are things that you must do? Which sentence tells you something that you must do? That's right, it's number 9. Have to tells us something that is an obligation, that is required of you. And then a choice is don't have to. And that just means it's not required. Okay? Like I said, you should have worked with modals before, and you should know these words. Okay? If you're not 100% sure, we do have a small summary for you down here. But the best thing to do right now is practice. Good luck.